Hello friends, today we will spend 100 days in ARK Center and defeat 3 alpha bosses. A few hours of farming. Even more farming. More farming. Now I'm making some spears because I killed some animals and need their hide and meat. I am sorry, little Dodo, I have to kill you. Your meat and hide need to me. I'm trying to kill this bird of terror, but these damn little creatures keep stealing my stuff from me. Finally, I was able to kill the terror bird easily with a bola. I hate this little creatures. One of the most useless creatures in ARK. Now I am gonna make a raft and explore somewhere to live. I plan to settle on a not very large island on the opposite shore of the carnivore island. I will have enough space for the house I will build and the dinosaurs I will tame, and I will not be attacked by predatory dinosaurs without realizing it. This is it, just the kind of island I want. I just need to clean up a bit. The island has a pest problem. Instead of cleaning the whole island myself, training a Dilophosaurus and giving it all the work is a good plan. Unfortunately, my whole plan failed due to the attack of a few animals. And I myself accidentally killed the animal while trying to stun it. Thanks to these damn birds, the farming I did for a few hours was of no use. I accidentally tamed two Pegamastax and now I can try to clean the island with them. First, let's start with Parasaur.
One eternity later.
I think we're in a little trouble. Unfortunately, I lost my first child. It's been about 4 hours since I arrived on the island and I'm still dealing with these damn birds. Since I built the house from wood, I had to cut down a lot of trees. I finally finished the foundation of my house, but I still have a long way to go. After hours of cutting trees and animal attacks, I finally finished the walls of the house and I finally have a house that can protect myself from wild animals. I found a level 150 Parasaur and unfortunately I am a little short on materials, so I will first tie it up with a bullet and then beat it with a stick to knock it out. I know it's a little wild. The first stick did not have enough life to knock out the animal and it broke, so I made a second stick and finally I was able to knock the animal out. I won't have to beat other animals unconscious anymore. We will now be able to collect plenty of narcoberries with our new animal and eventually switch to the trank arrow. I don't know why, but I like taming parasaurs as a starter pet. It's an animal that I like to look at and use. Now I made a stun arrow with the narcoberries I collected along with the parasaur, and I also improved the bow, and now it's time for us to tame a little better animal. I will try to tame this level 130 big boy you see. When the animal is coming towards me, I have to shoot the stun arrows towards the animal's feet, because if I throw it towards its head, it takes very little damage due to the hard bony layer on its head, and the less damage I do, the less I can stun the animal. We knocked out the big boy, but when his friends started chasing us, unfortunately we had to kill them. Fortunately, we have a parasaur. I released it on the friends of the big boy we knocked unconscious. It's a good thing we killed the other Triceratops. We cleaned the island a little more and we needed their meat, hide and keratin. I tamed the Triceratops with Majoberry because the herbivorous animals in the game are tamed best and fastest with Majoberry. While waiting for the Triceratops to be tamed, while wandering around to explore, I found a level 140 Pteranodon. Of course, I couldn't miss this opportunity and immediately tied its feet with a bola and shot a stun arrow into its head. Now it's time for us to fly. Unfortunately, I can't get prime raw meat yet, so I have to tame it with regular raw meat. I found a level 130 Pteranodon on the island where our house is and I decided to tame it too. I said, I have two flying animals in my hand, just in case something happens to one of them. It will take a long time to tame these flying animals, as I do not have any prime meat on hand, and I need to get prime meat as soon as possible. So I found a low-level Brontosaurus located on the island where I live. I released my parasaur on him and I supported him from behind with a bow and arrow. Finally, we killed the Brontosaurus and had prime meat. No lie, it was much easier than I expected to kill that huge animal. Frankly, I thought the parasaur would die. Since we have started killing big animals, let's not leave our job unfinished. Come on boy, time to eat prime meat. I hate this little shits. Since I am slowly starting to make a lot of saddles and items, we need an animal that can collect large amounts of materials, and Therizinosaur is exactly the animal I need. It can collect anything such as fiber, wood, straw, plants and meat. I kill all the tech dinosaurs I see on the road because it will be very difficult to make the items we collect after killing them. Before I stun the animal, I clean its surroundings so that after we stun the animal, we can come to it comfortably and tame the animal well. Since the animal was in the position to attack my target, it mistakenly attacked the animal I was going to tame, but it was not a problem. I immediately made it passive. While trying to land on this rock, a little situation happened that I didn't take into account and I accidentally fell down next to the Therizinosaur, one of the last animals you want to be near.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Run.
After a little action, I barely summoned the Pteranodon and was saved. It finally started to run away because he was about to faint. Now it's my turn to chase it. Come here, boy. You can't run. That Spinosaurus is starting to scare me. I feel like it's going to come attack us at any moment. I did not shoot the last arrow at the animal so that it would not faint in the water. Because if you knock the animals unconscious in the water, they will fall to the bottom of the water and drown until you tame them. I brought some narcotic for the animal because it will take a while to tame this animal, and in that time it will probably come to its senses. So I'm going to keep the animal unconscious by feeding it narcotics in between.
One eternity later.
Finally, our animal has become tamed. Now I will be able to farm most materials very easily. Finally, I need to get an animal that can easily farm minerals such as iron and obsidian. So I quickly found a level 145 Ankylosaurus. But first I need to clear the predators around it so that I can tame the dinosaur easily. Now that I have cleaned the animal's surroundings, I can easily start taming it. Now we can start taming animals that are a little more dangerous and a little more fun. Now I will tame a saber-tooth, because I need to enter caves and collect artifacts in order to go to bosses in the future, and unfortunately I cannot do this without a saber-tooth. Now I'm going to tame a second saber-tooth, so that if the first one dies, there will be another one in reserve. An animal that can be easily tamed with a bola. Although I normally like dire wolves more, unfortunately since we cannot equip them with saddles, they do not have any armor and they take much more damage than other animals. But since we can attach saddles to saber-tooths, it makes much more sense to enter caves with them. This Rex is bothering me so much. I feel like he's going to turn around and attack me at any moment. Now I will tame Rex, one of the strongest animals in the game, to go to the end of the game. Maybe in the future I will tame more than one Rex and build an army of their children and attack the bosses that way. Rex almost faints, so he started running away. I will tame a second level 150 Rex, breed them, create a Rex army and attack bosses with them. If they can go, I'm thinking of adding a few Gigantosaurus to their Rex army. Both our Rexes are tamed and ready to mate. I decided to buy a third Rex because I need to produce Rex faster. With this, I will have 2 female and 1 male Rex. We knocked out our third Rex without encountering any problems. Since I will be slowly switching to machines and rifles, I will need plenty of cement mortar. So I can train a BLZ Bufo and kill the bugs around the swamp with it and make a cement mortar farm from them. It has been the toughest training ever. I can't see in front of me because of these damn leeches. In fact, they are killing me by sucking the life out of me because 5 of them cling to me. Anyway, I knocked out Beelzebufo. Dying is not such a problem anymore. On the bright side, I'll be free of these damn leeches. I made it home without dying, but my life was almost gone. And I died. And I was eaten by my own animals. I'd better get that frog right now before any leeches get attached to me. Now that we have established our dominance on land, it is time to take action underwater. I found a level 150 megalodon nearby. This animal is more than enough for underwater. Now it's a level 150 Argentavis training. Because from now on, I want to switch to stronger flying animals, so this Argentavis is a very good choice. I successfully knocked out Argentavi, but unfortunately, as soon as he fainted, this damn direwolf came and started attacking him. If any animal comes and damages the dinosaur you have fainted while taming it, it loses the level it will gain after taming. In short, you train in a weaker way. So I had to wait for the animal to wake up and then knock it out again from the beginning. I knocked out a second Argentavis, just in case the first one dies. Have another one in reserve, just in case. Now we are slowly entering the caves. I also improved the saddle of the saber-tooth under me a little. So I don't think we will have much difficulty in the caves. We encounter plenty of insects in caves. Since we killed so many insects in the caves, I had to empty the animal's inventory from time to time, because we looted so many items. The animal cannot move due to its weight. Just now, while I was fighting with insects, an Arthropleura spit hit me and tore all my clothes off. We encountered many insects on our way again. Since there were too many insects, I skipped the insects in some sections and rushed past them to get the artifact directly. There was only one scorpion in sight, but suddenly a bunch of insects came out of the walls and started attacking me. Since there was only one scorpion, I got off the animal and made it attack the scorpion, but I was left defenseless against other insects coming from around. We take our first artifact. Now we enter the second cave. We encounter many insects on our way again. In my opinion, this is the most beautiful cave on the center map. The beauty of the colors around is amazing. Now we will probably get the most difficult artifact in the game because we will be able to access the artifact when we complete this track.
$2,000 later.
After about 10 hours of effort, I finally completed the track. But during this time, I died about 7 or 8 times and had to rebuild the entire course. Anyway, we finally got this artifact. I also collected the artifacts in the snowy region. Now I will try to tame the Gigantosaurus, the strongest dinosaur of ARK. I found the maximum level to be 135. There are already 2 spawns in total on the huge map. I can take both of them and use their children to fight bosses. Now I went to a high place and from there I plan to knock him unconscious by shooting a stun arrow with a crossbow. I had a slight risk of death when I stunned the animal. He climbed next to me when I least expected it. After about 3 hours of archery, he finally came very close to fainting and started running away from me. Because the dinosaur was so big, I had a hard time chasing it, but eventually it got stuck in a corner and I took advantage of this situation and finally managed to knock it out. But it took a long time. I lined up the T-Rexes that we trained before behind my house. I opened the mating of our T-Rexes, 2 females and 1 male. In this way, in the future, I will collect the fertilized eggs of these T-Rexes and create a T-Rex army to go to the bosses. Now I'm here to tame the second Giga on the map. This time it's level 140. If I can tame it, I will have 2 Gigas and I can breed them and add a few Gigas to the T-Rexes when I go to the bosses. First, I went up to where Giga could not reach and tried to knock him out with a stun dart. But after a few shots each time he started to move away. So I went back home and made some dinosaur gates and had to knock out the Giga by squeezing it between them. Otherwise, I spent about 100 stun darts and they were all wasted. Every time he escaped, all his torpor was reset. After hundreds of hits he finally came close to fainting so he started running away. After a long chase, I finally barely managed to knock him out. But I won't lie, he almost crushed me to death 2 or 3 times during the chase. We successfully domesticated the Giga. I lined up the 2 Gigas I had tamed next to the Rexes and enabled them to mate. From now on, we can produce as many Gigas as we want. I'm hatching the first 5 Rex eggs now. I hired a nanny to take care of these puppies. In this way, when they grow with 100% imprint. Rex babies look so cute when they first hatch, but when they grow up they will be boss killers. All the Rexes we hatched have grown up and are much stronger than their parents, and they are almost ready to go to the bosses. But before going to the bosses, we need to complete the levels of all of them and go that way. Because I don't want to risk my job since we will be going to the strongest bosses of the map. While I was completing the levels of the growing Rexes, I incubated other eggs and they hatched at that time. There are 3 terminals on the map and I plan to go to the bosses with a total of 30 Rexes, 10 Rexes for each terminal. I have completed the first group of 10 with these 4 Rexes. Of course, these puppies need to grow up to complete this group of 10. The last 4 Rexes have also grown and the 10-person boss team for the first terminal is now completed. Here is the boss killer team of 10 people. All of them have been leveled up and saddled. Now all that's left is to go to the boss. I'm thinking of adding a few Gigas to this Rex team if it can go. After a few days of effort, I collected all the artifacts and materials needed for the bosses and placed these artifacts and items in all terminals. All terminals are now ready to go to bosses. Now that everything is ready, we can go kill the bosses. Now I'm at the first terminal and let's go kill our first boss. We teleported to the place where our first boss battle will take place. I think it's a very nicely designed battlefield. I've got all the Rexes after me and I'm going to kill the bosses now. We win our first boss battle much more easily than I expected. Now I'm at the second terminal. I had placed the Rexes here before. I didn't bother bringing the Rexes from the previous boss fight here. I placed the Rexes under all terminals from the beginning. Rex is stuck outside the teleportation area. I have to let him in. But no lie, I was a little afraid that when the time ran out, I would stay outside the teleportation area and the Rexes would teleport to the boss battle without me. All the Rexes would be gone and the items I worked so hard to put inside would be garbage. I put all the Rexes after me again and I'm going to kill the bosses. We defeated the bosses easily again, thanks to our Rex armies. Now, finally, I came to the terminal on Carnivore Island, and this time I took the babies of the Gygus in our house with me. For a reason I don't know why, Gygus couldn't come to the boss battles. If I had known this from the beginning, I would never have tried to tame it so much in the first place. I blew the tracking whistle on all the Rexes and made them all follow me for the final boss battle. We cut all the boos easily and came to the end of our 100-day adventure. The reason why we defeated these bosses so easily is that we used the puppies of the Rexes in the house. All Rexes became very strong because they grew up with 100% imprint. Also, since I completed their levels, they have become the strongest they can be. Thank you all so much for watching me. If you like my videos, you can subscribe to my channel and support me.